Welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out a GOAT format match between my friend's Warrior deck, a very popular deck, and my Emissary control.
It's time to duel!
I built my Emissary control with a general idea to have something in the deck for any matchup. And his Warrior deck is more or less a generic Warrior build that you see online right now. So I start off with a Shining Angel. I run a Shining Angel engine of 2 Shining Angel and 1 Jowgen for Dimension Fusion matchups, as well as other like special summon like Chaos decks and stuff. It's also great to chump attacks, gets a free Geist, thins the deck, and provides lights for my BLS. Setting 4 back row generally means that I have a Solemn Judgment. Summons Blade Knight, quite large, but I'm okay with this, I think. And he takes it out easily. It's only 1600 because he still has many cards in his hand. And I get out the other copy of Shining Angel. Shining Angel is also great in my deck because I play a few Tribute Summon monsters. It's always good to top deck into one of those and have something there to tribute. It's one of the main flaws behind the other Monarch decks that you see going around online. So he sets 4 back row. I should be aware that we're probably going to have a Solemn fight sometime soon. Summon Breaker. It's a great card here. I get the token immediately, assuming he doesn't Solemn the summon, which I highly doubt he would. But he can respond with Book of Moon, but he passes. So Breaker will target 1 card. And I hit a Nobleman of Crossout, which is not that useful versus my deck. I don't set too much other than Shining Angel, maybe a Sangan. I set a 5th back row, definitely implying that I have at least 1 Solemn Judgment, but unless I have massive kahunas, I'm going to have 2 Solemns probably set. So you should be aware of that and trying to either make me use a Solemn so that later on he can win the Solemn fight with his Solemn Judgment, or he could just wait until he has more Solemns as well, because I believe we're both playing 3 Solemn Judgments. Decides to just pass turn, setting 1 card. Since it's probably his only monster currently, attacking into my 5 back row is probably a bad idea, since I can't really kill his cards either. So we have a full control match, it looks like here. 5 back row to 5 back row. Now we're just trying to draw outs to each other's monsters. Use Delinquent Duo. Pay 1,000 life points to discard my entire hand because I only had 2 cards. A Sakuretsu and a Nobleman of Crossout. Nobleman obviously is a garbage card versus Warriors, but the Sakuretsu, that could have been pretty useful. Opts to just keep 1 in, maybe I have Mirror Force. Attacks into my Shining Angel. It's not the biggest deal for him to die here. He's gonna just replace himself on the field with a Jowgen, thinning out my deck. The only downside is he has to come on attack position, but since he only has 1 monster, I'm not too worried here. Warrior don't really special summon, so the Jowgen here is just going to be tribute fodder if I draw 1, or he'll just block an attack. I pop him in defense, and pass turn. And he goes in for the kill on Jowgen. It's probably gonna be okay, seeing as he killed the Shining Angel. But I play Mirror Force. Clearly I'm not going to get any other value out of this. He's not really interested in summoning 2 monsters here. So, away with his Blade Knight. Jowgen on here is kind of a lock. He can't really premature burial. I guess he can't Chaos Sorcerer if he plays that. Nothing too special right now, but it is there. It is doing things. Jar of Greed. Draw a card. It's pretty good for turboing deeper into your deck. And also it's a good bait for MST Industriados, Regeki Breaks, Phoenix Wing Blasts. Activates Reinforcement of the Army, grabbing himself another Blade Knight. Blade Knight's a very, very strong monster in this deck since he can go up to 2000 attack. It's also just thinning out the deck to continuously draw more traps to fight my deck. More spells, power spells. So, he summons Blade Knight. Again, definitely difficult monster to deal with when it goes up to 2000 attack. Sets 2 backrow and passes. I have 4 backrow, so it's probably not in his best interest to attack into Sakuretsu Armor or Book of Moon or something. Summon my Sonic Duck. It's one of the cards I get from my Emissary of the Afterlife, but I hard drew it unfortunately. 1700 attack is nothing to laugh at, although his flavor text is quite enjoyable. So, attacking here could be into Mirror Force, Sakuretsu Armor, Book of Moons and stuff, but since I have the Sonic Duck, I don't really care. The Duck's here for battle. He's gonna bring the pain. He's probably wondering what I'm doing because I obviously have some sort of card. So right here I want to point out that I use the Book of Moon in the battle step, not the attack declaration, so that I can't be Sakuretsu'd. Essentially, if I attack and he Sakuretsu's, I could chain Book, or some players that are of lesser skill would activate Book of Moon and then attack, but after the battle declaration and I use Book of Moon, there's not really anything he can do outside of chain his own Book of Moon, so he would have had to chump it. But now anytime I ever attack his monsters with something weaker, he will always have to respond or respect that I could do something later on. Something to keep in mind when you're playing Guild format. Activates Snatch Steal, super strong card. Takes my Sonic Duck. I have a hard time dealing with large monsters, and especially my own duck. Feels bad, man. Takes out my Breaker. Nothing I can do about that one. One thing I'll note here is that you shouldn't really use Snatch Steal unless you're going to either push for game or put them in such a spot that you're probably going to win, or a Tribute Summon. Because if I can wall behind something, then I'm going to keep getting the 1000 life points like I just did right there. I draw on pass turn. I figure Jowgen can take another hit. Not a big deal. The Kaiku comes down, which is kind of unfortunate for me. I can't top deck BLS anymore. And also he's going to start clearing out my graveyard if it goes through. So he goes in for 18. Just check my graveyard here. Maybe I want to try and stop this, but he already knows I don't have Mirror Force, so unless I use Book of Moon or Sakuretsu here, I'm not going to get much value out of just protecting my graveyard. And I decide it is worth the damage to just let it go through. Probably going to choose the 1 dark in my graveyard just so I can't BLS later on if I can kill his Kaiku, and Jowgen just so maybe I can't bring him back somehow and destroy his special summon monsters. Gain another 1000 from Snatch Steal, thank you. And another back row set and a set monster. Yue does know that I play Giant Soldier of Stone because it's a searchable target for my Emissary of the Afterlife. But it could also just be absolutely nothing. But one of the rare times that I do set, it's probably going to be that card. So he activates Nobleman across out, very understandable. I'm going to play Solemn Judgment, hopefully baiting out some of his Solemn Judgments, but also I do need to protect my life points, as well as, you know, this is the only other Nobleman he can play right now because he used one earlier. Summon Mystic Swordsman level 2. Super unfortunate, that's the one card I didn't want to see. And he attacks, so on the declaration, I'll pay 1000 to activate Skill Drain, removing his effect to destroy. And he chains Mystical Space Typhoon. It's pretty critical in me surviving here, so I'm probably going to respond with something. I mean, I hope. But I also wanted to leave it so that it was only on the declaration, just in case I have to Book of Moon like that. So, I did pay 1000 life points for nothing here, but it's quite critical. If this dies, then I probably will die myself. I'm running out of life points. I think he's just looking if he wants to respond with anything to my Book of Moon. I know he's probably got a Solemn there. There's no way he would set 5 cards and not have Solemn Judgment, so this is pretty critical. Alright, so it resolves backwards. Book of Moon flips his Mystic Swordsman down. Mystical Space Typhoon that was chained to my skill drain destroys my skill drain, and the effect of skill drain is removed from the field. So he attacks into the Giant Soldier of Stone for 200 damage. Surprise. It's a little bit of a mistake, I think, because the only way to kill this now would be with Exiled Force, because the Mystic Swordsman can't automatically destroy a monster that's face up. But maybe he has that. I'm enjoying the Snatch Steel just hanging out, giving me life points every turn. Like I said, you should probably use Snatch Steel if you're going to like push for game or Tribute Summon or something like that, just in case something like this happens. Obviously, you're not going to run into Giant Soldier of Stone in every one of your games, but it is something to be aware of. Oh, he flashed us a Solemn Judgment there, so it's confirmed he has Solemn Judgment. Obviously flashing the camera, not me. So that's another back row. I guess he can't flip summon Mystic Swordsman. I guess he can't handle the 2000 defense. My soldier is made of stone. Draw. Gain another 1000 from Snatch Steel. I play my own Snatch Steel, targeting his Kaiku. Then I'll have the strongest monster on the field. Let's see what he does here. Play Solemn Judgment. Half his life to stop that. It's understandable. I'll probably start running over his field with his own monster, if he lets that through. But it is nice to see the Solemn Judgment there. Gives me a little bit more relief knowing that he can't just like keep Solemn Judgment, my Solemn Judgment. This is probably what this game's going to come down to, but we'll see. Pass turn. Feeling a little safer now that my life points have gone up, and I'm hiding behind the Giant Soldier of Stone, but at any point in time he could draw Exiled Force and really crush my life points in one big swoop. Summons Blade Knight, even with this 2000 attack boost. Not big enough for my Giant Soldier of Stone. So I'll play Mystical Space Typhoon on my Snatch Steel, on his Snatch Steel, to give me back my Sonic Duck. And it allows me to have a monster to Tribute Summon, so I summon Mobius the Frost Monarch. And he obviously has to Solemn Judgment that. And I chain my Solemn Judgment trying to push through, but he gets me with the 7 tools of the Bandit. A huge chain of life point loss and negation here to try and finish off the duel. I still feel a little safe. I'm behind Giant Soldier of Stone, but unfortunately for UA, I have the Call of the Haunted to bring back my Mobius, and I'll hit over basically anything for game. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Get a little insight onto some things you can do in the matchup, as well as just in your GOAT games in general. Stay tuned for the Emissary Control deck profile if you're interested in trying something like that. I appreciate you guys hanging out, watching with me, and I'll see you in the next one.